All right, today we'll be solving equations with variables on both sides. As you can see, there are, in this equation, variables on both sides. So what we need to do here, sometimes you might need to distribute, sometimes you might need to combine like terms. In this case, we don't need to do that. So the first thing we want to do is collect variables on the same side. So we're going to collect all the variables on the same side. Okay, so collect variables on the same side. So that means we need to get them all on the same side. All right. So let's subtract 4x. That will keep our variables positive. When we subtract 4x, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So 4x minus 4x is just 0. So we'll be left with 21. And 8 minus 4x is 4x. Left with this negative 7. So 4x minus 7 equals 21. Our second step is, you guessed it, collect all constants. Now, constants is just our numbers, okay? Collect all constants on the same side. So add 7, and what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0. We're left with 4x equals 28. 4x is the same as 4 multiplied by x, so we'll just divide by 4. What we do to one side, we must do to the other. Okay, so that's our third step, is just solve. Solve the equation. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so we're just left with 1x. 28 divided by 4 is 7, so our answer is x equals 7. Okay, we'll move on to one more that has a few more steps. It looks crazy, but it's not too bad. So our first step is to, in this one, to distribute. If you have to distribute, okay, if you've got to distribute, then you will distribute 12 times x and 12 times negative 3. So we'll be left with 6 plus 12 times x, which is 12x, and 12 times negative 3, which is negative 36. That all equals 7x plus 30 plus 6x. Our next step here is to combine like terms. Combine like terms on either side. We have like terms here, 6 and negative 36, and like terms on the right side with 7x and 6x. So we have 6 minus 36, which is just going to be negative 30. So 12x minus 30, and then 7x plus 6x, which is 13x plus 30. So let's collect variables on the same side. Okay, collect our variables on the same side. So subtract 12x. What we do to one side, we'll do to the other side. 12x minus 12x, just 0. We're left with negative 30. 13x minus 12x is just x. And then we're left with plus 30. So in order to get this x all by itself, we need to subtract 30. What we do to one side, we will do to the other. So we're left with negative 30 minus 30, which is negative 60. So x equals negative 60. Right? We collected constants, and then we solved. This might be something that you write down. Remember, 1 and 2 are only if it's necessary. Sometimes you might not need to distribute or combine like terms. And that is how we solve equations with variables on both sides.